Check, mic check, 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Platform Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dex. If it's your first time tuning in, go check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. You guys can see all the previous episodes. But today, we are sitting down with the GM of the brand new Barstool Nashville, setting the tone for nightlife here in the city. We got E010 with us on the show. E010, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with us here. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into a lot here today of how you got started here with Barstool, how it's been since opening just a couple months ago, and some of the things that you've dealt with in nightlife and what we have to look forward to with Barstool here in Nashville. So first, let's kick it off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from.
So I moved to Nashville 3 years ago during COVID. I previously lived in New York City. I worked for Tao Group. So I was managing one of their venues out there for the past 9 years. And then COVID happened. Everything shut down in New York City. And I was actually going through a breakup during that time. And my previous boss was moving to Nashville, and I found out, and I was like, hey, I want to come and try something new. So a month later, I'm like living in Nashville, never visited, never seen it, had no friends here, but I was like, I'm ready. So I started off as the reservation manager for 1230 Club. And then did that opening. After a couple of months, I became the membership director for 1230 Club. And then did that for about a year. And then got presented a different offer for a different venue in Nashville. Did that opening with them. It just didn't end up working out. And then I actually started doing finance for Ferrari that just opened in Nashville. It was fun, but it was just not my speed. It was a 9 to 5. I was pretty miserable, just sitting around looking at cars that I have like no interest in. And I went out one night because the owners of Tao Group were in Nashville, and they were actually with the owner of the hospitality company that handles all the Barstool bars. Mm-hmm. And they introduced me to the owner, and that's kind of how Barstool kind of happened for me. So
at that point, did you know that they were opening, or was this prior to them even announcing anything?
I heard about it a couple months before. I was like, oh, whatever. Like, didn't really know too much about it. And then one day I was just sitting and I'm like, I need to get out of Ferrari. And I texted the owner, and I was just like, hey, let's meet. And then that kind of took off, had some interviews, and then here we are.
Do you have a finance background, or you just kind of got into it, or what?
It was just a training for like 2-3 weeks. Yeah, it was super easy. It's just like everything's online. Yeah. So
did you get to drive any of them?
I did. I mean, the roads are so bad here that you can't even like drive the way you should drive those cars.
Yeah, I guess I never really would have thought about that.
And then you're just so scared because you don't want like the rocks to hit the windshield or something happening. So it was like
you hit one pothole and you're just fucked. Yeah.
So it was fun. It was a cool little gig.
But had to get back out of that and into nightlife. Yeah.
I feel like nightlife just like traps you. Like
it does.
Like the environment and how fast everything is. It's like once you're in it, it's so hard to leave.
It's crazy because you think of bartender, servers, DJs like myself, even up to upper management. The hours that you work for the money that you can make is insane. Yeah. Where you look at working a 9 to 5, like if you're working at a Ferrari or even other car dealerships where you're working more than 40 hours a week to get way less than what you can make serving bartending, especially in a city like Nashville, where you can make a lot of money in tips. So
especially in Nashville, like a lot of my friends from like back home are like Nashville, like if you've never been to Nashville, you have no idea how it is. And everybody that comes here, it's such a shock. And I'm like, what you would make in Nashville does not compare to like what you make in New York City.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And a lot of people don't believe that. until they like see how much partying people do here and how it's from like 10 a.m. to literally 3 a.m. all
On
day, every
any
day.
given day. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's wild because there's a friend of mine who bar backs and told me how much that he makes bar backing just one night a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking about pulling in 600 to 800 on a night.
Yep.
Bar backing, where you look at bartenders in Milwaukee where I'm from, and it's 200, 300, 400 is a good night.
Yeah. Which
and
is
dudes making
insane.
that bar backing. Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. But I feel like everybody that works in this industry here like deserves all that money for all that they go through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
it's
a lot
insane.
of shitty tourists that
God.
probably just annoy the hell out of people.
It's
and then the
insane
constant
sometimes.
bachelor,
I'm like,
bachelorettes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy, but
Does
it's fun.
Tao have a place here?
No, I think they were like scoping out the city.
Okay.
I've heard that a lot of like the big hospitality companies are looking to come here, which makes sense for how fast the city's growing. But I don't think they've committed to anything here just yet, especially with the liquor laws with like bottle service, since they are big on nightlife. But I've heard that their city is like thinking of changing those laws soon.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be very beneficial.
Yeah, that's a strange thing for me that I didn't know about until I moved here. And we went out to Whiskey Row one of the nights, first couple weekends that I moved here.
Yeah.
With Dirty Darren and a couple other guys, and got bottle service. And I watched them bring the bottle out and then just start pouring it into shot glasses.
You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And Darren had to explain it to me how Nashville, or Tennessee has different
It's
liquor
insane.
laws.
It's so, and I feel like it's even worse pouring out the whole bottle and just leaving like 24 shots at the table for people to consume. Like in Scottsdale, when I did the opening for Barstool there, their laws is that you have to have like a bottle lock on the bottle. But the
so
bottle
they
can
lock
sit.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like that's way better than just having like 24 shots on the table for people just to like consume and throw back.
Be overserved whenever they want. Yeah.
Which I feel like is also an issue with the overserving, because the laws here are just so weird with that like we have so many people that are just so drunk. We're like, how did you get drunk so fast? Like you were just normal like an hour ago. But it's definitely like people just throwing back the shots. But
it's so easy to bar hop here too that even if you go to one bar and one bar kicks you out,
it's like, okay.
Walk 2 feet, you go to another one, they might let you in and take that first shot or have that first beer before they realize, holy shit, this person's fucked up.
Yeah, and especially with the bar bikes too. We a company actually reached out to us to brand their bike with the Barstool Nashville.
Yeah, I saw that going around.
So they stop by and then hop around the other bars. So it's so easy to get wasted, which is insane.
Yeah, when you can just go to 7 different bars in a span of an hour.
Yeah, literally not like 40 minutes at that point.
So when you first got started at Barstool, you said you went out to Arizona. Did you do like training and stuff there prior to Nashville opening, or?
So I wouldn't really say it was a training. So they didn't have a GM for Scottsdale when we first opened. And since they brought me on board so early for Nashville, they wanted me to pretty much do something before we opened here. So that was part of the deal of coming on. I would also like go see the other venues. She's so cute. So yeah, I would go to the other locations, kind of report like what I would see to the directors, and then kind of help out with the nightlife for the other locations as well. And then at one point, I just focused on Barstool Scottsdale until we brought on a GM, which that ended up working out pretty well. I still had to go every other weekend. And then towards the end, I was going pretty much every weekend. But it was a lot of fun. I've met a lot of people there. The staff was wonderful too. And it was cool to see Scottsdale because of like, I don't know, have you ever been to Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Like the Vortex, it's really cool how it's pretty much similar to here, but there's just like clubs and it's like copy and paste.
Yes.
So it was pretty cool.
Where was your favorite spot you went?
I would say Casa Amigos or Hi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they have Riot House out there, Bottle Blonde out there, Hefe out there. But
yeah, it's
there's,
pretty cool.
It's like you said, it's just nightclub instead of here, honky tonk, bar, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely more calmer over there though. Like over there, it's just Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Here, it's like Monday through Sunday. So it's pretty cool. But we got that place open, and then that was pretty much it. Just helped them out until I needed to focus on Nashville. Yeah.
Have you been to all of them now?
Except Philly.
Okay, so you went to Chicago, then Arizona, and then obviously here.
Yeah, and we also have some like other venues in Florida and New York City.
Yeah.
That are not Barstool. They're just bars and restaurants. So I would go see those as well, which was pretty fun.
Are they all mainly like food restaurants, or are they nightlife?
Mostly bars.
Okay.
Like nightclub bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a lot smaller than Barstool Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most places are.
Yeah.
The bar is huge, so that makes sense. Obviously, Barstool, you guys just opened up in June. It is August now, so you've been open not even 2 months.
Yeah.
How's it been so far?
It's been honestly great.
Yeah.
So we had no training for the staff. I don't know if you've heard about that.
I have not heard about that.
Yeah,
Explain. I don't get how that works.
So we obviously had a plan to do training. What we decided was, since construction really got to the point where it was either we open this weekend or we open next weekend, same with our permits. Everything happened maybe 24 hours before opening.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we got our liquor license 24 hours before.
So your staff had no training?
No training.
How does that work?
We pretty much got everything 24 hours before. Like, our Aloha install was finishing up on the day we were opening. So we hit it very, very close, but we wanted to open. So it was either our training days were, hey guys, you guys are coming in and helping us set up the venue and pretty much putting out all the liquor, unboxing furniture and all that. And we're like, okay, see you guys tomorrow. We open at 4 p.m. So, I mean, it was a scary thing to do without training because it's such a big opening. But I knew all the staff that we hired, and I've worked with them before. So I was like, I know that they could do this. So I wasn't too worried about it. It was mostly like, what if something goes wrong? Which obviously that happens during an opening. Obviously changed some things, like we didn't do a food menu for that weekend. We didn't offer specialty cocktails. So we made it very, very simple for them to be able to do such a big night without any training. And it worked out perfectly. I'm still shocked. Like, I literally was watching them the first night. I'm like, wow, like, we did this with no training. I think we are the only venue in Nashville to do such a big opening without any training, which it's insane. I'm so proud of them.
I think it's insane to think about that at all, like opening any bar of any size, but especially a bar as big as what Barstool is.
Yeah.
But then I think about bartending previously, and it is somewhat simple to figure out programs, like whether you're using Aloha or Two Touch or Micros, whatever else. And especially if you're there from 4 p.m., getting thrown into the fire, I mean, that's how you're going to learn it really, really quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, here in Nashville too, that's all you really need. You don't need the specialty cocktails, things like that. As long as you can throw out beer and high noon and whatever mixers, that's all you need. So I had no idea though that you guys just kind of opened up and just threw everybody to the wolves. So.
Yeah, even with our management team, we didn't really have a training really either, because we were just so focused on like making sure all of our accounts are set up and everything, like all partnerships are ready to go. So that was, hey guys, you guys got this. We'll figure it out.
I mean, I assume you guys had all the liquor and everything prior, or was
Yeah,
stuff getting like
yeah.
delivered day of?
24 hours before. So we knew what we were going to get because we worked on the menu.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get it until 24 hours prior.
Gotcha.
So it was like,
That would be the part that would
crossed.
stress me out, is if
Oh
you
my
don't have
God.
enough and then you just run out of shit.
Yeah. It was like the day before we were supposed to open. We were like, well, we hope we open tomorrow. Like, hopefully, let's just say we are. And then if not, we'll just figure it out. So,
Yeah, because I came there opening night and I would have had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the smoothest opening I've been a part of. And I've done 7 openings in 2 years. So it was.
And the one that has no training was
it
the
was the
smoothest
best
one.
yeah, which is insane. But I think if you hire the right people and you plan ahead and you have like people behind you that support you and like trust you enough to be like, hey, Josh, who's our owner, by the way, we're not doing a training, but it'll be fine. And they say, okay, we trust you guys. If you fuck up, that's on you. But
Yeah.
I think that helped so much because we didn't have to like stress about corporate. Yeah. I'm very happy with what's been going on.
Being the GM and having to go through training, not training, even just dealing with people in the city, how have you found it to be a female managing a major spot like this?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with any bar as a female, if you are managing, it's obviously a lot harder because you have so much more to prove to other people that you could do this since it is such a male-dominated industry. So you're constantly needing to prove yourself a lot more to show people that, hey, I could have this position even though I'm not a male. It's also like for example, like if the cops ever, like when they would come by and say hi to us, even the fire marshal, they would be like, oh, like, can we speak with the GM? And then I come out and I'm like a tiny young girl. They're like, oh, you're the GM? I'm like, yeah. I'm like 5'3". They're like, oh, good for you. I'm like, thank you. But yeah, it's definitely a shock for everyone, especially since I'm so young. I'm 27. So
Yeah.
definitely a lot harder. Plus, I am a perfectionist, so like I will kill myself to prove that I could do this role. So definitely way harder. And it's like one little fuck up, and people just think that you can't do this. So
Yeah.
but we've got it. The amount of applications we get is just insane. We like had to turn off our like email to receive
Because you guys are getting
applications.
so many.
And like people would like name drop me or like somehow get my number and like show up at like Friday night at like 12 a.m. I'm like, if you can't read the room right now, you are not working for us. Like, but yeah.
And if they're showing up Friday at 12 a.m., I'm sure they're not showing up sober.
Like you probably don't know the industry too well if you show up asking for a job.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty great. We've had a lot of support, but also a lot of people are just pretty negative too. But I'm very happy with the team we have. So
Yeah, from every time that I've been in there so far, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
Maddie and I have both gone in there
yeah,
a good number of times.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys are coming off a couple crazy weekends with the Grand Prix that was just in town, with IndyCar. In the past, you guys have had artists like Cheat Codes come through, Lauren Elena, who's obviously huge for country music. And then when IndyCar was just here, you guys just had Flow Rider come through, which I talked about on a previous show. Not a lot of places in Nashville really book artists, whether they're booking them for performances themselves or to just do appearances, after parties, anything like that. And I feel like that's something where you guys are kind of setting the bar for Nashville, aside from country artists that just show up to their bar. But I think it's awesome to kind of push that for nightlife in this city, because to me, it's shocking that it doesn't happen more with how many concerts and festivals and things like that there are, how no bars take the after party for it or something like that.
Yeah.
how crazy was that weekend?
I mean, every weekend with us is pretty damn crazy, even just a regular weekend with nothing booked. But that was pretty wild. I believe our line was like almost like wrapped around the block towards Kid Rock's, which is insane. I mean, it was a really good turnout too. I feel like a lot of people were like, I read some comments and people were like, oh, that's so like 2012. But it's like, he's like an OG and like his songs are so well known and they kind of cater to like our clientele too, age wise. So like we play his music like 3 times a night and he was a great performer too. Like he was a lot of fun, like super engaging. It was honestly a great party. No issues except like a guy took like a poop on the floor.
A literal shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the worst thing of that night to happen. Yeah.
How in the fuck?
I have no clue. And it was like close to the the bathroom hallway?
Yeah.
There, a grown man. That was like the worst thing that happened that night. Like,
that'll probably be the worst thing that happens
ever,
this year for you guys. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Out of all the things to go wrong, like that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But it was definitely crazy. We were pretty busy, like since like 8 o'clock, people started coming to see him. We had a little bit of a delay. The only challenge, I guess, would be with booking big acts is like people are waiting for
them to come on.
Yeah, so like they don't want to party until they see the performance. And that's when it got like pretty freaking wild after he performed. But prior to it, people were just like waiting around, like just when is he going on? When is he going on? So that was the only challenge from that night, was just making sure we hold the room and just throw a great party from 10:30 to like 3 a.m. So
yeah, which if you look at the other side of that too, from managing previously, I know exactly what you're talking about, because those people might just be kind of hanging out, not really spending money until whatever artist goes on. But then the other side of it, if they do go on earlier and then let's say they're done at 1, everybody is clearing out.
Exactly.
So, I mean, from what I saw on Instagram, you guys played it perfect because that shit looked busy as hell all night. So
it was freaking busy.
Yeah.
It was definitely packed. It was a great party though.
We talked about it on actually the podcast that just went out today with Conflict, who's a DJ from Miami. Just talking about how music is right now. And that was one of the things that he touched on, was how a lot of this older music is what's popping off more in clubs and bars. And it's artists like that, like a Flow Rider, who people might say, oh, that's so 2012, but you can play that stuff closer to prime time or even in prime time right now, and people go crazy for it. And that's the kind of stuff that's nostalgic, and like you said, it kind of fits the clientele that you guys are going to get and the age group that you're going to get, where that's the stuff where it goes on and they're like, oh shit, this was my jam.
High school prom. Fuck yeah. That was great.
But that's good to hear that he's actually really good live too. And then,
he was really, really good. I think we were all shocked. His crew was super nice. He was super nice too. So it was a great party. I'm not going to lie. At first I was like, oh, whatever, like Florida. But I was like, damn, he's pretty freaking sick.
He looks like a big dude.
Yeah, he's definitely a big dude. He's great.
Was he partying with everybody?
So we decided to build a bottle service table on stage for him.
Oh.
So, pretty much once the band stopped, at 10:30, we cleared out all the equipment from the stage. DJ did his thing, plugged in. It took us about 2 minutes to clear the stage, and then we set up a fake table for him on stage so he could perform and then hang out on stage after. So that was kind of his setup for the night. So, he just stayed, hung out, went to the green room, went back on stage, and then did his thing. Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know. Is that something you guys just like thought of day of?
Yeah. So I actually ordered like patio furniture.
Okay.
Because they're light and easy to store. So went on like Amazon, and then I had some barbacks go on like Facebook Market and pick up some like patio furniture.
Yeah.
And then we built another table on top of the mezz, kind of behind the stage, right above it, which is a great table because you're literally right above the band, the DJs, and him performing. So we built a table there too, and it was great. Yeah.
Such a good idea because then he's still like staying in the spotlight too, where everybody can see, but he's also still away enough from people where they're not really bothering him.
Kept the room longer, seeing him like interact and like hang out at the bar, which was really nice.
Or even just seeing him drinking and partying and stuff too.
It was great.
Yeah, you talked about a little bit how having to transition from a band to nightlife, and is that something for this location? Because obviously you went to Scottsdale, you went to Chicago. They don't do bands at those locations.
No. So we are the only location that does bands, DJs, and more so big acts. Like Scottsdale has big DJs as well, but we are more focused on it in Nashville.
Yeah.
So going into, obviously people go to Nashville for music, and we knew that was something that we had to do. Why remove something that works? We kind of have to like play the game at that point, and we knew we wanted a super high energy like rock bands. Like we wanted a music vibe similar to like Kid Rock's. Like we wanted it to be super crazy, fun, nonstop, and I think we're finally getting to that point with the bands. That has definitely been tricky for us to find the right bands to kind of fit what we want, but we are pretty much there. And then DJ wise, obviously we want to do nightlife, so kind of had to do that too. But yeah, we definitely wanted to cater to the market. I feel like some new venues that come to Nashville want to like change the game and want to be different, or like they kind of like shit on the honky tonks. But it's like at the end of the day, there's millions of people coming here for that. Like, why would you not take advantage of doing live music? It just makes so much sense to do it here, and I think it helps. For example, with 1230 Club, we would play around with having bands and no bands. So doing the opening for Barstool, when we were talking about it, I was like, from experience, like we have to do live music 7 days a week, open to close. So we kind of rolled with it, and I think it definitely helps. So
yeah,
don't change the game.
That's how I look at it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
And Nashville knows what works, and everybody loves the live music, where just having that live music could bring people in that wouldn't necessarily go to a bar stool. Like, let's say you get that older mom and dad that aren't really hip with Barstool, but then with how open your guys' venue is, they hear that live music when they're walking down the street, they're going to stop in there.
Yeah.
And being able to transition from that to the party when you get later is what everybody in Nashville is looking for.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard for us because the way our venue is laid out is we're pretty much an open layout. And a lot of the bars on Broadway have an advantage of having separate floors so they could set the vibe from the start. Here, it's kind of like we have to be very quick with our transition by pulling the band off stage, putting on a playlist, putting out the DJ booth, and then going from, country music to EDM within like 5 minutes and have to focus on not losing the room. So yeah, it's definitely more challenging to do that with us because people could leave in a matter of 2 seconds if they don't like what's happening or they want something else. So It's definitely harder, but we finally have a good system, and our production company is great as well with it. So,
I mean, you really do have to work quick because as soon as people hear that music off, and if it's off for too long, they're going to close out and leave.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you can make it seamless where it goes from band to music to DJ or just band right to DJ, then that party just never stops and they're just going to keep going. So
I mean, obviously there's some people that leave because they come for the bands, but
specifically,
we pretty much have, like, from the moment it hits like 10:29, we already know exactly what we need to do. In 3 minutes to turn the whole room around. So it's pretty sick to see, like, go from one vibe to like EDM and lasers and bottle service within like 20 minutes.
Do you guys do bottle service on both floors, or is it just
on the first floor in the booth area? And then we are obviously adding that fake little table behind the stage on the mezz. So that's really the only table up there for bottle service.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the layout of the venue of what was already there, I love it because if you're up top, and especially if you guys are planning on booking different artists and DJs and people like that, having that upstairs mezzanine where you can basically just look down on the entire party is awesome.
Yeah.
And then obviously if you are on that first floor, you're just in the crowd and in the party too.
Yeah.
So I think it works out really well for what you guys do, and then hopefully what you guys are looking to do.
Yeah, it's definitely a really cool vibe because I feel like the first floor is very clubby.
Yeah.
The mezzanine kind of goes into more of like a bar. And then we also have the patio terrace, which is like a chill little rooftop that you could hang out with your friends. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I look at how other bars here, like you said, or first floor band, second floor, whatever else, like band, DJ, and then they kind of work their way up.
Yeah.
You guys still have a little bit of like that getaway where if you don't want to be in that crowded club area part, you can still pop upstairs, sit out on the little patio, or just even be in a little bit less of a crowded area, hit one of those top bars and not be so surrounded by people. So
yeah, it's definitely a cool vibe. And you really don't have to leave at all because you could go into a club within like a couple steps and then go back up for something more chill, which is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, where if you look at other bars, it's like, all right, cool, I have to leave the band to go to something else.
Yeah.
Where you're staying in the same spot the whole time, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything lined up right now? Or are you that you can talk about?
So we released Kylie Morgan this Friday. I believe she is like an up and coming country music artist. Then we have on Saturday like a big Pirate Water Barstool University event with D-Rock.
D-Rock?
Yeah. Yeah, so
nice.
It should be pretty fun. And then we are definitely not stopping.
Yeah. You guys have Landis on Friday. That's a homie. Yeah.
He is pretty damn good.
Yeah. You've heard him before, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In Florida or where?
I saw him in Florida.
Okay.
At one of the locations.
Yeah, he lives there, so I don't know if he's played at some of the other spots.
I think he plays at their bar over there.
Super dope producer. Puts out a lot of stuff on like Don Diablo's record label, Hexagon, but then he started his own record label, Fresh Squeeze.
Okay.
And runs his own DJ Academy, all this kind of stuff in Florida.
That's awesome.
With Crespo, who is Jaden Smith's DJ, but he's a good friend, and then comes here, of course, when I'm DJing. So D-Rock, are you like familiar with him prior?
No, I've any DJ I kind of stalk and like listen to their sets when I know that they're booked. So I listen to his sets. I mean, he seems like a really fun DJ.
He fits the Barstool vibe perfectly.
Yeah.
Because kind of what he blew up from was like college game day mixes. Okay. And then now he tours and just goes to different colleges and universities and frat parties. And then right now he's on tour with two friends.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
And I know he's doing the tour with Old Row, Barstool University. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to hear them this weekend.
Yeah, he's a very good DJ and good producer too, just putting mashups and everything that he'll create, edits, and you'll probably hear some crazy shit before the drops of just like quotes from TV shows.
Oh, really?
And,
That's pretty cool.
that he'll just like throw in there and you'll be like, what the fuck?
That's awesome. Oh, sorry.
But yeah, that'll be awesome. That's this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we we're gonna go crazy for the next couple of months.
What are you guys planning to do during football season?
So we actually have a really exciting partnership. So we are partnering up with University of Tennessee
Nice.
to be the official sports bar for all Tennessee games. So we will be throwing a shit ton of tailgates,
Hell yeah.
watch parties, just honestly be the best sports bar that the city has ever seen. Really focus on throwing a good party and doing something that a lot of locals haven't seen or tourists haven't seen, coming from like small towns. So arches, balloons, confetti, like just crazy stuff to really like push football and our bars. And the great thing about that partnership is it's going to be for baseball, basketball as well. And there will be certain cocktails and beer buckets that half the proceeds will go to help the student athletes for University of Tennessee. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I know we're teaming up with like Bud Light for the September 2nd game. That will be absolutely insane. We are opening at 8 a.m. that day and throwing the best party for UT anyone has ever seen. So
is the parking lot is that your guys' lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's our lot.
Interesting. So you guys can use that too.
Yeah, we could use it. We actually thought about using it, but you have to get like permits, which are so annoying. But we're just gonna go big for this game. So I'm really excited about it.
What about NFL stuff? Do you guys have anything lined up or just kind of?
We are trying to work on that as well right now. It gets tricky with the NFL because they have so many rules with it, but we definitely want to somehow be involved. I mean, it makes so much sense for us to do something with like the Titans, for example.
Stadium's right across
So we are going to work on it. I'm sure we'll somehow figure something out, but that's definitely on our radar too. Yeah,
just think about it because then typically most of the places here are doing live bands or something like that already at noon. And then it kind of rules out the people that want to come and just hear the game.
Yeah.
For me, I could give a shit less as long as it's on the TV.
Yeah. So we definitely don't want to kill the vibe for what we're trying to do, but there will be games where we'll play the sound and just have a DJ as well for like commercials and stuff. So we won't be doing like bands because that would be weird to stop. It just doesn't make sense. So DJs for sound games and then live music for just normal games.
It's a lot easier to do it that way because as a DJ, you can just cut the song and then you can hook up whatever audio straight to the mixer so the DJ can just control it from there instead of having to switch it from everywhere else.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. I'm definitely planning the craziest stuff. Sometimes the owner is like, where do you even come up with these ideas? Because these are just insane. I'm like, honestly, sometimes I just sit and literally just lay and just think about like crazy shit that people would be like, that's awesome.
I feel like social media wise, you can get so many ideas just scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or Pinterest.
So we definitely want to just be super fun, different from what people have been doing here.
I mean, you guys definitely have your branding and marketing and everything like that is always on point. And obviously that's just a Barstool staple as one of the largest conglomerates of marketing and branding, and everybody knows who they are. And I don't think the bar is any different from what you guys have as far as the giant logo on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And the stock wall
Yeah.
are probably two of the best things I've seen in a bar.
Yeah.
As far as getting every single person that comes in there to just market your bar themselves, because you know that they're going to take a picture of it or take a video of it and post it.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. It's so all of the locations have the board, which is called a split flap. So we have the biggest one from all the locations, but all the Barstool locations have a smaller one. So that's kind of staple. The logo on the wall that's mirrored is we are the only bar to have that, which is really cool because it lights up. It was actually supposed to have like move up and down, so it would like go all the way down and then like tilt and stuff. But
really,
we didn't end up doing that for now. That's something probably we'll look into upgrading later down the road. But
I feel like that would scare the shit out of me if all of a sudden it started coming down.
Have you seen the videos of Barstool Scottsdale with like the triangles that like come down from the ceiling and kind of like rotate?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yours is just a giant octagon. Barstool, yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And then, the split flap, it's awesome. I feel like people just love to see what goes on next, especially when it starts rotating. People don't expect that. So, we love it. I love that thing. I love messing with it or like putting some like weird stuff on there that people just like eat up.
I try and watch it and figure out how the hell it works to drop all the letters down, and I like can't figure it out. Yeah, trying to watch it real time. So.
I was watching the install on it, and it's pretty much all like individually installed. So it's like a block with all the letters that you have to like manually install each little thing for it to rotate.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you program what sayings and stuff you want on it.
Do whatever we want on it. A lot of them are the ones I made up for Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And I just transferred those over and then obviously added some like Nashville ones to.
So you are behind this.
Yes. I take that game very seriously. I love that.
I didn't know how it worked, if you guys just already had some kind of lined up or if you're getting sayings just from everybody in the staff or who the brain was behind it.
Yeah. So the way I do it is like things that are like trendy or like I'll go on like Pinterest and like look up like funny sayings for bars or things that are like kind of relevant, or some of it is things we've said before to each other. And then I try to find things that are like relatable for everyone. So it's pretty fun.
I feel like the staple is the last night we let the liquor talk. And then
that's so good.
You and everyone else in Nashville, Morgan.
Good.
It was funny because Maddie's a big Alex Earl fan.
Oh, the Get Ready With Me.
Yeah. So
good.
I saw that pop up and I was like, Groom with Alex Earl. And Maddie's like, what the fuck did you just say? I'm like, Groom, like, is because it says GRWM. And she's like, that means get ready with me. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm a fucking idiot. But then you guys had another one that was like, it was the margarita one. And I forget exactly what it said.
The difference between a margarita and a man is the margarita hits the spot each time. Yeah.
And I saw that one pop up and I was like, damn, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that. I was like, yes, we're putting that on the split flat.
Yeah, especially with like everybody that comes through there. Like, once you have little funny ones like that, especially when people are drinking too, and where that's going to be like, cool, now I'm going to get a margarita.
Yeah.
Or just taking pictures of it, putting it up there. So.
Yeah. There's also some like Dave Portnoy sayings and like some Barstool ones, but people just love it.
Like so many places do a neon sign or something like that, and there's nothing else like what you guys have.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I love it. And the great thing is like we could also put like happy birthday Drew or anything like that. So it's pretty cool.
You should work that into bottle service packages.
Yeah, it's just
too hard
tricky.
To like switch that out right away.
It goes in live time, but it's just like very time consuming in a way because you have to make it perfect on the website.
Gotcha.
And so when we're rolling with like 2 managers on like a Saturday night, it's kind of like a headache. But if we know in advance, we'll do it for people. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that'd be kind of hard to log on real quick, change the shit, and then get it ready to drop.
Yeah, and then like remember to go back in and like remove it.
Yeah, so it's not going to keep popping up through the rest of the night.
Drew?
Yeah. That was 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
As far as where you guys are location-wise, I wasn't really aware of it prior to moving here. Just kind of how big of a deal being on Broadway versus being off of Broadway is. When you guys first opened and being a little bit off of Broadway, which to me, I didn't think it was a big deal at all. And then I talked to every like local that I know and they're like, oh, it's a huge difference just to be that block off of Broadway. How have you guys been dealing with that? Or is that something you guys thought about prior to opening? Or do you guys just not really give a fuck? Because I feel like promotion wise, like you guys do enough where it's not going to matter.
Yeah. I mean, obviously everybody wants to be on Broadway, which if you aren't on Broadway, I feel like you kind of have to roll with what they do on Broadway. Like I know there's laws that like you have to have live music on the first floor. You can't have a DJ on the first floor on Broadway.
I didn't know that these were rules.
Yeah, so I think it has like an advantage being off Broadway because we could kind of do things that people on Broadway can't. And I think us being right next to Nissan helps.
Yeah.
Also, we have the name that everybody knows, and we aren't really worried about it. I mean, I take marketing and like social media pretty seriously. So I'm always thinking of ways that we could just get our name out there. And I don't think it has really played too much of a difference. Like we still have people come in on like Monday through Thursdays. I also think it helps to have that giant mural and like our giant like bar sign. We're also like doing things with the exterior. I don't think it really matters to us. We're pretty happy with like how it's been so far. Plus we know football and like sports, we're going to do well. So as long as you kind of like stay ahead of the game, be on top of your marketing, I don't think it really matters too much. I know I've heard like so many people like complain or like I'll read comments saying that, oh, they're not going to last because they're not on Broadway. And it's like, you don't know. Like, you don't know what we have planned or like what we're creating here. So I think it's dumb to think of it just because you're not technically on it. You think a bar is going to like fail. So
yeah, I've had people reach out to me that I don't even really know that well in Nashville. When I posted Barstool and was just excited for it to open, just being a fan of Barstool, and people reached out to me and were like, place isn't going to last. And I'm like, it hasn't even fucking opened yet, for one. And I'm like, two, they can push everything they want, marketing and branding wise. And you know that every single person that comes into town and even walks past that bar are going to stop into it. Plus then when you add in what you guys can do as far as sporting events and bringing in different brand activations and just personalities that can come through there.
Exactly.
I look at it even a weekend like last weekend, having Glennie Balls there.
People were going crazy for that.
I wish I was there. I fucking love Glennie.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious too. So, but I think it's gonna be awesome. And then looking where Nissan is, people are gonna come downtown before those games, and then that's just a short walk where you can just pop right over, and then after the game, come right back over. So
even concerts at Nissan, like people would like literally storm our bar. So it's the location helps. So being literally right next to the stairs to get into Nissan, it's really not bad. I feel like people have so many opinions, especially about Barstool, that they will just say anything
just to hate.
To hate. I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. It's funny. There's always going to be some haters for everything.
The worst is like people I know that will come up to me and say it to my face that this bar is not going to last. I'm like, how are you going to come up to a GM and like say that? I feel like it's just so rude, but I'm like, I just laugh in their face. I'm like, you just see.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what you're talking about. But I think you'll do very well.
I do too. And I think that even right now, you guys are kind of pioneering what is going to push Nashville forward.
Yeah.
And trying to push nightlife forward more here in the city as opposed to just bars and kind of honky tonks, whatever people want to call them here. Because there are places that do bottle service here, but not necessarily like crazy bottle service, where you guys can kind of set the precedent for that. But then it also, I feel like, is going to put a target on your back where then you're just going to have to keep staying ahead of the game for everything and kind of set the trend for the city. So,
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think when people first heard about Barstool opening, they did not expect what we're doing. And I feel like they thought, oh, it's just going to be another bar. And we are definitely not another bar. Definitely coming in hot. So I feel like a lot of people are like, whoa, we got to step it up. So I definitely agree with that.
Which is good. I mean, even when you're talking game day stuff or just day parties that you can go off of from different game days.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that are really throwing day parties. Yeah, you'll have a band or something like that just playing on the floor, but being able to start a party at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be something where if you guys can get that going, then other people are going to have to look at it like, fuck, what do we have to do to kind of start doing that too? And then you look at other places that are coming to the city. Like if you look at a Bottle Blonde who does that in other cities, or if places like Tao Group or whoever else start looking for venues out here, it's all going to start coming in these next couple years, and you guys are already getting a head start on it. Are you a high noon drinker?
I like espresso martinis.
Okay. You and
love them.
Every other girl on the planet.
I like high noon peach. That's my favorite.
Nice.
The tequila ones are really good. I feel like nobody has really tried them, but it's probably the best tequila seltzer I've ever had.
It's so funny to me because peach high noon is my favorite. I could literally drink. Yeah. I could drink peach high noon all night, every night. Maddie hates the tequila ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think
which
they're
like
so
she
good.
likes tequila. Okay. But then tried those and didn't like them.
Which flavor did she try?
I don't know. I think they got like a variety pack, but I don't know which one she
the grapefruit was
didn't like. Yeah. But I think they're good too. So, and I might just be biased to high noon. But yeah, espresso martinis are
so good.
Yeah.
We actually have pretty good ones at Barstool.
Don't you guys do a giant one?
Yeah, we do a giant one. We also have like espresso martini machines that it's already made. You
like pre-batch?
Yeah, it's like imagine like a beer on draft. It's kind of like espresso on draft. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you do those giant one, that plays in perfully for all these bachelorettes that are coming through.
They love it.
Yeah.
They eat it
Throw
up.
some dick straws in there, you're good to go.
We tried. Our owner said no. I know.
I was like, that would have been the perfect one. So I feel like that would have been played in perfectly to Nashville. So
that we thought it was great, but pushing it.
I mean, you guys promote stuff like that. What else as far as promo, like, do you want to do?
Probably more, obviously day parties, more like events for nightlife, big acts.
Who would you book if you could book anyone?
John Summit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your go-to right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He throws such a good party.
Yeah, the
and
guy.
He's very involved with the crowd, and I think it'd be sick to have him here. I also like two friends, James Hype. Yeah, like mostly those mainstream guys right now that are trendy. If I could have anyone, though, it would be Rufus or Fisher.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Rufus. So good.
I would be scared to see how much that they cost, or Fisher. We saw
Shit
James
ton of
Hype
money.
in Madison.
How was he?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just a big fan of him as a DJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fucking crazy how good of a DJ he is.
Yeah, I'm like, I want
Yeah.
him so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rufus and Fisher are way over 100K. So,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like amazing. They're so good.
Fisher is a wild character
Yeah.
too, so he would be awesome to have.
So good. I think that would be so sick to have
Yeah.
on like Broadway.
I watch his Instagram posts of just him talking in his little Australian accent, and it's just funny as shit. You
So
guys,
funny.
promo wise, do some different shit too, because
Mm-hmm.
as far as you're the only venue that I've ever seen
Mm-hmm.
that has the staff do like press shoots,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I think is brilliant, and I have never seen it done before. I did it with the DJs
Mm-hmm.
at a venue that I was running in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Just to get like all of our residents all press shots that like only us as a venue use.
Yeah.
But then they could use them
Yeah.
for promo every night. And I think it's even smarter to do it like you guys are with all the bottle girls. Because then instead of just posting generic flyers or whatever else it's going to be that they just throw random stock photo girls
Yeah.
on, all of your staff literally have pictures of themselves that they can put with Barstool
Yeah.
logoing, things like that, and then post it.
Yeah.
And then I feel like as a bottle server, that would lead to people DMing you just being like, oh, cool. Like you're
Yeah.
working tonight. Can I get this table? And would potentially make it 1,000 times easier
Yeah.
to book stuff.
Yeah. That's one thing that I like to focus on is scheduling a shit ton of photo shoots for the girls to have for content. Since we are so involved with social media, we, especially Nashville, like we are really on top of, hiring like photographers and videographers every weekend and making recaps and flyers. And it was actually a requirement for them to post flyers. So we got their Instagram handles when they came on board to make sure that they're posting
Everybody's
the flyers
posting,
that we send out, especially during an opening, just to spread the word. So that's very important for us. So every other month or so, we try to do a photo shoot just to keep things fresh that we have for flyers. So that's very big for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's such a good idea. And I think it's a lot better than just posting a flyer where it makes it so much more personable for them, where they can post a
Yeah,
picture.
they love it too.
Yeah. It's just hyping themselves
Yeah,
up.
they're
So
like, "Yes, we love
it's
it."
awesome. And I feel like for a guy that would want to book bottle service, I mean, that's,
Yeah, you see a good-looking girl, I want to go there.
yep. Well, you're able to promo everything perfectly, it seems like, so far. The bar seems to be thriving right now, and you guys are doing great. How happy does it make you just at the end of a night or a long weekend to just be done and just have a successful, well-ran bar for the whole weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great. Sometimes I'll just like stand on the mezzanine and just like look at the party and just like smile and like watch the staff and just be so happy with like what we're doing here. And seeing like even all the locals just having a good time and coming in and saying like that the culture here is like so different and it's very like welcoming, which is really nice to hear. So yeah, it makes me pretty happy to obviously be in charge of this bar and doing it every weekend. It's definitely tiring. I just had like a day off like a week ago. So it's obviously a lot of work. But I think just seeing everything happen on like Saturday nights and Friday nights, I'm just like, wow, like this is worth it. Like it's just amazing. So I couldn't be happier.
You look up from or look down from the mezzanine and just get chills, or what?
Yeah, I mean, especially when we have like really good DJs on and like it's just such a good party. I'm like, damn, this feels great. Like people are having so much fun. Like it's just such a good vibe too.
Yeah.
So couldn't be happier.
it's awesome to see that everything's going well and that you're having such a good time, and obviously how rewarding that is for you. What kind of vision do you guys have for Barstool, whether it's in the next coming months, coming years for here in Nashville?
Yeah. Honestly, just to stay relevant, just be on top, keep doing what we're doing, if not better. Obviously, seeing like the feedback we've gotten from just like even other venues makes me want to even do better at this point and do more stuff that nobody else is doing. So that's our biggest focus, is just promo, throw sick parties, do cool events, and just be different than what everybody else is doing on Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you look at getting out of nightlife and using this as like a step stool to anything else, possibly anything Barstool related, anything past nightlife in general? I mean, I feel like you're going to meet so many people here in Nashville.
Honestly, no. I'm very happy with the company I work for, which is Satin and Bowery. I don't think the owners would ever let me leave either. So like they've already pressed me about it that I cannot leave. So I definitely want to either stay in Nashville running this bar, or eventually be a director for them for the Barstool locations.
Yeah.
Because I do know there's many more coming. Right now I love what's happening in Nashville. So definitely want to just stay here for a while and make sure that this place will always be the best. So, yeah.
For someone who had never been to Nashville before and then just picked up and moved here, I mean, you're doing all right for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, at first I had my moments when I first moved here where I was like so homesick, like would cry to my parents and like want to move back. But then I like started working for them, and I'm just so happy, like focusing on that than like what is happening within the industry. So
well, if you guys ever want to open up a spot in Milwaukee, let me know.
we'll let you know.
I will gladly help out with that.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that you guys still keep whooping ass at Barstool, and I hope that you guys just have a successful future. I'll definitely be stopping by and checking out a lot of the DJs that you guys are bringing in, because I keep seeing more and more of my buddies booked over there. So it's going to make me have to stop by and go check them out.
You have to come on like a Friday, Saturday night.
I know. Well, this Saturday I only DJ till 11, so
so you
I'll be able to stop by.
Yeah, I believe D-Rock actually goes on at 11. So
I know. I'm excited to stop by and see all of them. So
we have a table for him too, so you could just hang out. Wait, have you ever seen D-Rock's rider? His like DJ rider that.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
But I would love to. Yeah.
He's a funny guy. He asked for like a pet rock.
Jesus.
I'm like, it's pretty
I've
funny.
seen some wild riders in my life. I've talked about them before, but there's some crazy ones.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was like, that's so random. But
there's some wild ones, but I'll have to see what you guys have laid out for him at his table. So. Or what's in the green room for him. Yeah,
he's so random. We were like, what the heck?
Yeah.
We're not getting a pet rock.
I mean, a pet rock makes sense because he's D-Rock, so.
Yeah,
it all makes sense. So, but yeah, let everybody know where we can follow you, and obviously any promo that you have for Barstool, for Stan and Bowery, anything like that too.
Yeah, my Instagram is iga.obritska, and then obviously Barstool Nashville. Gotta love it.
How many followers you guys have now?
I think almost 13. Yeah, actually, Barstool let us know that we're the fastest growing account that they've had.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool.
See, that's good news.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you guys follow her Instagram. Make sure you're following Barstool. If you're in Nashville, obviously stop by and see her.
Don't name drop me though, please.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
If you watch the podcast, don't say that you know her and that you have free entrance in. So, but we will see you guys next time on here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out any of the previous episodes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you're looking for those DJ mixes, Platform Mix drops every week. Mixcloud, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. I'm DJ Dex. Make sure you guys follow me at DJ Dex MKE. Until next time, thank you guys. Check. Mic check. 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?